TT here for day number 7 of Energywork for Immunity. So today we're going to do a practice that is very energetically focused. It's going to be expanding the lower Dantien. So this is a practice directly from Qigong and Tai Chi practice, formal practice. The lower Dantien is a place in your body that corresponds to kind of your root, your sacrum, your belly, your pelvis, and we'll kind of detail a little bit about the process of finding it and connecting to it. And in this practice, we're going to use some tools of visualization, gentle movement in rhythm with breath flow, and contact and awareness of the palms of the hands as expanding and compressing that energy. So I'll talk you through this practice. It's a really great one, again, for boosting immunity. One of the things this practice is really good for, on top of things like gentle breathing, relaxation, softening, relaxing, all those really great properties. One of the things this is really good for is reinforcing our energy field. So there's different layers of energy field in Qigong practice, and those different layers correspond to different things like your physical body, your emotional and connective body, your spiritual body. So this is really good on reinforcing those physical and emotional or interpersonal energy field bodies, which is really great, again, for immune health, where we're kind of almost reinforcing that barrier of protectivity around our bodies. So we'll move into the practice in just a moment. For our expanding lower Dantien practice, the first thing we're going to start to do is just to find lower Dantien and to bring a little bit of awareness and energy kind of flowing through that place in the body. So again, lower Dantien, to find it, you can place your hands with the thumbs on the belly button, and then your palms and your fingers will be slightly below. This may feel kind of just like the bottom of your belly or the lowest part of your abdominal muscles. So again, lower Dantien, if you kind of cross-reference it to other frameworks, it can correspond to a number of different things, including but not limited to the root system, root chakra, sacral, pelvic floor, perineum, and that kind of base of support and function for the body. It's also really nicely paired to sort of body mechanics. It's the fulcrum or the seat of balance or seat of movement. So when we twist, bend, arch, all these kind of different positions, extension, compression, flexion, everything can kind of orient back to this as a center point of the body. So in a lot of ways, lower Dantien is considered the center of all centers. And in Qigong, it's definitely seen as that way. So the first practice for this, we just want to bring our hands here. And you might want to think about dropping your breath to meet your hands a little bit. So if you've ever practiced some belly breathing, if you haven't, that's okay. It's not always easy to move your breath down here if you're not practicing that. But having the hands here is a really great way to focus on where your breath is going, because you'll be able to kind of breathe in, press against the hands, breathe out, compress away from the hands, and so on, and use the contact point and centering with lower Dantien as a little stability and center to focus the breath. And if it's more natural and simple for you to drop your breath down, then you don't need to spend a lot of time with that part of the practice. But if you want to spend a few minutes just centering with your breath, you can feel free to pause the video at any point where you need a few extra moments with each step of this process. So that's really the first thing. We want to drop our breath down, and in doing so, we're dropping our mind and our awareness down here. And once we feel like we're in that place, we're going to do what's called a lower Dantien massage. So this is kind of a way of stirring up the energy. Lower Dantien is sometimes called the deep reservoir, deep well of Qi in Qigong practice. So what we want to do is take that reservoir and that well, and we want to draw some stuff up from it, some of that water, as it were, up, and move it into the rest of the body. I'm going to start moving it around. So what we do is we just take the two hands together. You can either have a kind of a full-on triangle like this, or one hand atop the other, and applying either a little bit of pressure, no pressure at all, or hovering in front of contact so you're not actually touching. We're just going to make small circles. So going from kind of below the belly button to above the belly button, it's covering that whole lower abdominal area. You might even kind of reach to one hip, go across to the other hip, and come back up, going just up to maybe the bottom rib. And when I do this, I like to breathe in rhythm with the movement. So we can go in both directions. Breathe in as you come up, breathe out as you go down. That way you're moving at a rhythm that your breath is already at. Going the other way again. And maybe a couple times in each direction like this. Start to circulate that chi around the body. What that's also doing is it's moving kind of in 3 or even if you like 4 dimensions, moving that from that point of lower Dantien to the front, the sides, the back, down and up. And then when we do our expansion and compression, it's a little bit more accessible to us to bring that energy out into our energy field and then draw back in. So from that little circular massage, we're going to do this expansion compression breathing. This is really nice and gentle, very simple, but we can go into more and more detail as we go. But we start small. When we breathe in, just let your hands kind of mirror that expansion of breath in. When you breathe out, let your hands mirror that compression of the breath out. So the same feeling when we're breathing into our belly, we breathe in, the belly expands, your hands are going to expand. Breathe out, the belly compresses, the hands are going to compress. And as you get into this flow, the hands can move further and further away. Again, just as long as you're staying with the natural rhythm of your breath, which can of course slow down more and more as we practice. And as you feel this expansion, you can invite your body to really expand in the front. So I open my chest even, I rock my hips forward. I might even let my head and my chin lift. And as I compress breathing out, I might round my back, really draw the abdomen in, and I might let my head and chin come down. So once you have a feel for this, the physical part of this motion, again, it doesn't have to be really, really big on a physical external level. It can be really big like this, and really compress, or it can just stay in this kind of realm where it's more focused on just the center. Either way works. And once you have a feel for that physical flow, feeling like your palms are open, your fingertips are relaxed, but slightly spread. So just have some awareness of the hands and the fingers still. These are kind of your conduits for spreading the energy out and then for drawing back in. Just like the flow of breath, right? And really everything has that rhythm of expansion, compression, rising, falling. There's always that rhythm, like the rhythm of the tides, like the sun rising and falling. All of these have those rhythms. And once you have that feeling, we want to bring some visualization. The visualization is half of the practice. We want to visualize like a warm ball of white light, or it could be a different color, whatever feels right for you. A yellow light, orange light, a blue light, whatever works, but a warm ball of light is in your center. When you expand, that ball of light is expanding, filling the space around you. When you compress, it's drawing back in. You can imagine that warm ball of light expanding all the way here from your head to your toes, through the back of your body, and then compressing all the way back into lower Dantien. You can imagine it expanding out around your body, surrounding you like an aura, a protective ball of energy. Imagine that bright light expanding and compressing with every breath. Sometimes I like to visualize the sun or even the moon, nice images and sources of light that we experience in our lives. Or you could imagine just a bright color or a whiteness. Again, different colors have different healing properties, but everything is okay to go through here. There is no wrong color, no wrong brightness, no wrong shape or size to expand to or compress to. Just visualize and feel what is right for you in this moment. The deeper you go with just practicing this, you're going to expand and deepen that energy awareness, and you might find that your body just tells you right away what color this light is today, what it looks like, what that visualization is. So with that visualization in mind, it can be nice to do this with your eyes closed, although you don't have to if closing your eyes causes you any imbalance or triggers anything at all. Just visualizing that expansion of light flowing through the body, bringing that healing and protective energy to you, surrounding your whole body, that layer of protection. This is a really nice meditative practice that you can do for 5 minutes, or for 20 minutes or longer. Just feeling, flowing with the rhythm of your breath. Letting that bright light expand and compress. Taking in all that good energy. We'll do just a few more. When you're ready, just compressing the last time, let your hands just come to rest. Some sort of contact here with lower Dantien. They can float in front, they can rest in contact, they can go atop each other. Kind of like we began, just resting here, feeling your breath drop down here, feeling that flow of energy through your body. And just notice if you feel different from when you started the practice. What has changed, if anything? And if you don't feel different, it doesn't mean that there's anything wrong or that the practice is not successful for you. If you felt a lot different, that doesn't mean that you will always feel that way after the practice. So each one is an individual experience. As we move through these practices together, hopefully you'll really start to feel that energy flowing and be able to center on that quality of the energy you have in your body, energy that exists in the world around, and how those relate, how they become one sometimes. You can really feel that.